Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan, and today we're doing kind of a fan request-ish thing of Hasan reacting to the whole Tylenol, I guess, causing autism. Or is there more to this? Maybe RFK announces, according to the title, RFK announces secret cure for autism. Okay. But before we get started, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, check out the Discord link if you want to join that. And definitely, or obviously, the video we're watching will be linked in the description box as well as anything else we bring up. So, check it out, description box. Do so. It's very valuable. It's very valuable. Okay? Sit down. Sit down.
It's very valuable. Many people are saying this is the most valuable thing you could ever do with your time or your money.
Sit down. You're gay. Sit down. Sit down.
You are fake news.
I feel like
Sit
I
down.
fucked it up. I gave myself a compliment about my sit down statement from Trump, and now it doesn't feel right anymore. Like I almost like fucked myself up.
I feel like that might be my fault a little bit.
And now I have to rewatch the Shane Gillis one because that was just so funny. I had sit down. You're gay.
One Herculean task at a time, Jordan.
Either way, let's get into this video from, I guess there's a lot of care about Hasan Piker reacting to things. Let's watch it. Hasan Piker reactions with the title RFK announces secret cure for autism. Here we go.
I'm probably going to have a lot to say about this shit.
Fair enough.
And it's not that everything's
Here it
100%
is. The
understood
moment you waited
or known,
for.
but I think we've made a lot of strides. Wish it was done a long time ago. Today, we're delighted to be joined by America's top medical and public health professionals as we announce historic steps to confront the crisis of autism. Horrible, horrible crisis. I want to
Thank you, Dr. Oz.
man who brought this
TRT,
issue to the
RFK
forefront of
Jr..
American politics along with me. And we actually met in my office.
Another drug dealer have to beat up.
Is it like
whoever's giving him
20
chemicals
years ago, Bobby?
keep him in
It's
shape.
Probably 20 years ago in New York. I was a developer, as you probably heard, and I always had very strong feelings about autism and how it happened and where it came from. And he and I don't know, the word got out, and I wouldn't say that people were very understanding of where we were, but it's turning out that we understood a lot more than a lot of people who studied it, we think. And I say we think because I don't think they were really letting the public know what they knew. Thanks as well
captions
to
way
the
off.
director of the National Institute of Health, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty McCary. These are great people. Administrator of the Centers
Yeah,
for
I
Medicine
hate
and
when there's that
Medicaid
much
Services,
desync.
Dr. Mehmet
Yeah.
Oz, and
That's
Acting Assistant
Hassan's feed
Secretary of
doing that.
HHS, Dr. Dorothy Fink. So thank you all. Thank you, Dorothy, very much. The meteoric rise in autism is among the most alarming public health developments in history. There's never been anything like this. Just a few decades ago, 1 in 10,000 children had autism. So that's not a long time. And I've always heard, they say a few, but I think it's a lot
Isn't there
less
expansion
time
of
than
definition, right?
that. It used to be 1 in 20,000.
We've gotten a lot better at detecting the
then 1 in
signs.
10,000.
Yeah.
And I would say that's probably 18 years ago.
So that's one in.
And now it's
So back then it was 1 in 10,000 cases reported.
Yeah. Then they maybe expanded categories or changed definitions around for like what is what, right?
Yeah,
Where that can kind of do
As
things
they
with
learn.
numbers.
as they learn more about the condition. And another thing that we've gotten better at detecting over time is autism in girls and women. Because
Okay.
for a long time there were a lot of women who went undiagnosed. And I know this because I know some women who live with that condition.
And they were like, oh, they're just girls, so girls act this way. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense with a lot of the dummies I see out here. But that makes sense. Like where there's no care for the
Yeah.
fucking person you're dealing with or patient, or it's kind of like a business. If you think it's like basically a business instead of a care about people thing, you know. But all right, let's keep going. I did not. By the way, I've not seen any of this conference thing. I think I went over like the initial statements of it, of like they're gonna bring up Tylenol, and they're saying they have some sort of revelatory idea. I think I was in the Kirk memorial thing, right, or whatever it's called, the service thing, right, in Arizona, in the fucking football stadium. I think they brought
Yeah,
that up.
that
He brought that up there.
but disturbing production.
Yeah.
We should do a deep dive on that some other time, assuming
Yeah.
you haven't already done so.
I have not done so, but there's some weird things there. But well, all right, either way, let's keep it moving. I might not do that, Joe, just because of like I don't know. It feels like I care more about Charlie than they do, or something. It's just weird. But who knows? You know.
Fucked
So
up part is you might be right, and I'm not exaggerating at all.
yeah. So I don't know if I do anything with that, but let's keep playing this. Here we go.
1 in 31, but in some areas it's much worse than that, if you can believe it. 1 in 31. And I gave numbers yesterday. For boys, it's 1 in 12. I was told that's in California, where they have for some reason, a more severe problem. But whether
Politics.
it's 1 in 12 or 1 in 31, can you imagine? That's down from 1 in 20,000 and 1 in 10,000. And now we're at the level of 1 in 12 in some cases for boys. 1 in 31 overall. So since 2000, autism rates have surged by much more than 400%. Instead of attacking those who ask questions, everyone should be grateful for those who are trying to get the answers to this complex situation. And
What a joke.
the first day all of these great doctors behind me were there, I told them this is
In a
what
vacuum
we
that
gotta- we
works,
have
but
to
not
find
when he
out.
says it.
Because when you go from
I guess.
It's like I already want to bite into him a little bit over this, but I'm trying to.
Good.
Like, I already want to tear his fucking head off over some of this shit, but I'm trying to keep my mouth shut.
Fair enough. Also, judges, is that a pause too? Please comments. Tell me if that was a pause too. All right, here we go.
from 20,000 to 10,000, and then you go to 12, you know there's something artificial. They're taking something. And by the way, I think I can say that there are certain groups of people that don't take
He's slow,
vaccines
isn't
and
he?
don't take any pills that have no autism.
That's not true.
That have no autism.
If
Thank
you're,
you,
if you're
Hasan.
less
That's
likely
not
to take
true.
a vaccine, you are infinitely less likely to go get diagnosed by a medical specialist to see whether you have autism or not. That's it. That's the only reason. Oh my
The
God.
Amish. Yeah.
Pause it for a
that's
moment,
right.
Jordan.
Yeah.
I can tell you exactly where this whole narrative about the fucking vaccine started, and once I tell you, you're gonna know in and out why it's such complete bullshit.
Okay.
The genesis for that whole fucking narrative came from this junk study that the Lancet published and later had to retract. It was a study done in 1998 by a doctor named Andrew Wakefield. And once people started looking into the methodology of this study, they found all kinds of flaws.
Okay.
It was statistical malpractice. Like if you took statistics 101 like in any community college, the kind of shit that they did in that study is shit that would get you thrown out. They would fail you immediately.
So, okay. Well, me personally, have not looked into anything in regards to this. I'm not gonna lie. I've looked into Zippo when it comes to this stuff. But let me ask you,
And
good?
I will implore you to look into that shit on your own time.
Yeah. So let me ask. because it sounds like you've researched things, and I'm gonna ask you, like, in your opinion, is it more of a okay, we're just discovering certain things, so thus it looks like the numbers are growing, but this thing has always been here. Are you of that point of view, or are you saying it came about at some period of time? Is it connected to something we're consuming, whether it's once again food, anything, food, vaccines, drugs, cigarette, whatever the fuck, anything? It's like, where is your perspective on in regards to this?
Well, one of the things
I'm
this paper
very
did is it falsely claimed that there was a causative link, because
yeah,
you know how there can be apparent correlation even though the two things might not necessarily be connected.
yeah, yeah,
Because, like, I'll give you for instance, with the advent of the mammogram in the 70s, suddenly we started seeing more cases of breast cancer reported. Now, note the word
yeah.
that's doing the heavy lifting there, reported. So does so if Trump was in the 70s and if he was talking about breast cancer then, he would be saying that suddenly after 1972 whatever, suddenly there's a whole bunch of women getting breast cancer for some reason.
Yes. Okay.
When wake up, Dippy, that's not the case. We're just catching it earlier, which actually means a lot of those women are probably going to live a little longer.
I mean, my perspective is that this is just another political football for these guys to play with, in my humble opinion, of what their motives are. But I was just wanted to know, like, overall, where you or anyone else maybe think of, like, oh no, these things were here, just like cancer was already here, but it wasn't being diagnosed because there was no, I guess, like, standard or like understanding of this thing existing in the first place. Like that's what I was kind of asking. Like, is that like what's going on here? Granted, I think these guys are full of shit, in my humble opinion. I think they're using this as like a political win for themselves. You know, of like,
Yeah.
look what we're doing. See, look, we're doing the exact thing that you guys asked us for. Meanwhile, they're just like kind of fudging and bullshitting numbers. Honestly,
Yeah, they're fudging and bullshitting a bunch of their numbers because they're trying to hide the fact that they are utterly destroying our fucking healthcare system. And unfortunately, it looks like me and every other motherfucker in this country that has autism is going to have to play the part of the fall guy for these people.
you
So,
should
excuse me while I go vomit.
You should have let the Tylenol alone. Can Tylenol just like sue the shit out of these guys for this? Like, can't they like sue the shit out of them? Or am I tripping? Because they like actually like pointed at, right? I didn't see this press conference, but that's what I heard people were saying. What was going down? I don't know though.
Can view if they wanted to. Actually, no. I think their parent company is Johnson and Johnson. So, you know what, Johnson and Johnson, if you want an easy fucking lawsuit, easiest fucking lawsuit that you have probably ever been handed, this is it.
But they were saying, well, let me add this because I don't know if you heard this, but they were saying like the generic drugs are fine, but Tylenol itself is the thing that's actually contributing to the rise in autism. So it's like that's like very direct, right? On a legal stance, that's like very direct. I don't know if they say that in this press conference, but that's what I was hearing around the internet. Once again, I didn't look too far into the story, but that's what I was hearing, which sounds like extremely
Well,
like suable for shit like that.
the difference between the brand names and the generics is minuscule at most, and that's
But
usually
that is
usually
targeted
why.
though, right?
Well, what
Sorry.
happened? Well, the reason these drug companies fight so hard against generic versions of their shit coming out is because they want to be the monopoly. They want to be the sole
Yeah,
manufacturer of a lot of these things.
and they want to set the prices for them.
Yeah. So when, let's say, Purdue Pharmaceuticals or whatever, I don't know if they actually make this shit, but just stick with me for the sake of example. Say the patent on some fucking heart medicine they have is about to expire.
Mhm.
So they'll just drop a little antacid solution in there and patent that.
Bro,
That's
that's just
literally
like
it.
movies. That's exactly like movies where they have
It is.
like they have like character
It is a bad
properties.
movie.
No, I'm saying like imagine like a character that you have a property over, like you own the property of it, but like you have like a contract and you have to like use them. Otherwise, you kind of lose the rights of the character in a way. So you just throw them like randomly in like a random movie somewhere. It's like, all right, let's put Donald Duck in the middle of you know I don't know, Iron Man or something, right? Just throw a Donald Duck fucking sticker in the movie somewhere, just so you like maintain rights over the character. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
let's
that's so
give Donald and
scummy.
let's give permission to use Donald and Goofy to this Japanese video game developer we don't know anything about.
It's so fucking scummy, dude. It's so weird when you make these things like business. It just ends up being creepy at some point, like later on.
Into the world of copyright and trademark law, it's exactly as stupid as you fucking think it is.
Yeah, that's so weird. But all right, all right. Let's keep playing here. Here we go.
I heard none. See, Bobby wants to be very careful with what he says, and he should, but I'm not so careful with what I say.
Great.
You
Yeah,
have
you're
certain
only
groups.
the fucking
Amish, as an
president.
example,
It's good that you're
they
careless
have
with your
essentially
words.
no autism. First, effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of
Amish.
well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen. Acetaminophen.
Oh
Is that
God.
okay? Which is basically commonly known as Tylenol during pregnancy, can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol
Very
is
scientific term.
not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not.
Not good.
Is that a scientific term, Jesse? It's not good. Not good. It's like, yeah. Now,
His brain is dripping out of his ears.
I will say this. Scientifically, I have no fucking clue personally. I have no idea. And when I see like some of these ladies out there that are pregnant as like a protest start taking Tylenol to be like, yo, fuck you, Trump. I'm taking Tylenol right now. Look at this. I don't agree. I don't like that either. That's out. Unless it's like a bunch of like trolls or government employees. I can't say I know, but I've seen some images of ladies allegedly taking Tylenol to say fuck you to Trump, right? And it's like, is that the right way you go about things? Is that really the correct way to do things? I don't think so. Like, who knows if he's lying, if he's bullshit? Like, let's go through all like the evidence. But when you get like bullshittery fucking filters from one team or another, we all lose. We all get incomplete information. We all fucking lose. So, but once again, this is not my topic. This is not where I understand things. I just don't know enough. Honestly, I do not know enough.
I was just looking shit up just so I could have things to share, and guess what?
What?
There was actually like a whole bunch of lawsuits about this.
Oh, really? This is like
Yeah.
What is this, like 2 days old or some shit like that? They're already dropping lawsuits.
No, this is like almost 3 years old now.
Oh,
And
okay.
the case, yeah, like there were 66 different lawsuits about Tylenol causing autism or whatever the fuck these people are trying to say it does.
Wait, like,
And
it's who against who in these cases, Joe?
it was a bunch of individual people suing
Okay.
suing the drug manufacturer.
Okay. Good. Or
And
yeah. Good.
ultimately, the case got tossed out in December of 2023.
Do we know why it was tossed out?
Apparently, the plaintiffs were cherry picking a lot of their data for this. Which, again, if you take even a basic statistics class in a community college anywhere in the country, you will understand that that is a giant no-no. That is a cardinal sin.
Yes,
You will get thrown out of class for that.
I agree. But here's the thing: these questions are worthy of anyone in any company. It's all worthy to me. It's just like when I see these guys handling it, I just don't. I get a little skeptical, but I would still, like, just as being from one human to another, I'd hear out what they're saying for sure. It's just I can't say one way or another. So I'd love to see, like, hey guys, instead of just announcing something, like hold a panel with people debating on both sides of the argument, or people in between, or people that are skeptical, or people that are like kind of, you know, ambiguous about it. Like have all that represented and do like a real fucking like seminar. Like, hey, what's going on here? Like, let the questions be asked. Let people have answers, on and so forth. But instead, they don't do that. Instead, it's a political fucking football, and you use it at Charlie Kirk's fucking funeral or whatever you want to call it, memorial thing, and you use it for, you know, for cheers instead of for actual care for people's well-being. That's where I get stuck at. And if you're one of these ladies popping Tylenols willy-nilly because you don't like Trump, I think it's fucking stupid
Don't
to
do that.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid to do.
Is the big concern with acetaminophen is that if you overdo it with acetaminophen, you're risking liver damage.
Yeah.
That's the big concern with acetaminophen. That's why I don't. Also, I found that it doesn't really help me terribly much.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it can be hard to keep track of how much you're actually taking, because so many drugs have that as the active compound.
Okay.
So you could overdose yourself on acetaminophen without even knowing it.
Okay. I never take aspirin, Tylenol, Advil. I never take any of those things, so I have no fucking clue. I have no idea about any of this shit, honestly. But all right, let's keep playing. I'm sure Hasan will chime in and let it fly. Here we go.
Good.
I'll be yelling at him too.
For this reason, they are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary. That's, for instance, in cases of extremely high fever, that you feel you can't tough it out, you can't do it.
Maybe
I guess
high
there's
blood
that.
pressure, maybe.
It's a small number of cases, I think. But if you
Well, what
can't tough it out,
acetaminophen
if you
does,
can't do
it's a mild
uh,
antipyretic, which means it's supposed to reduce fever,
that's
and it's
what
also
you
an
have to do. You'll take
anti-inflammatory.
a
Yeah.
Tylenol, but it'll be very sparingly.
Okay.
Can be something that's very dangerous to the woman's health. In other words, a fever that's very, very dangerous, and ideally a doctor's decision, because I think you shouldn't take it. And you shouldn't take it during the entire pregnancy. They may tell you that toward the end of the pregnancy, you shouldn't take it during the entire. And you shouldn't give the child a Tylenol every time he's born and he goes and has a shot. You shouldn't give a
so
Tylenol
crazy.
to that child. All pregnant women should talk to their doctors for more information about limiting the use of this medication while pregnant. So ideally, you don't take it at all. But if you can't tough it out, or if there's a problem, you're going to end up doing it.
Why
the
are
other
they?
thing that I can
I
tell
don't
you
even
that
know.
I'll say
I don't
that
even
they
understand
will
what the purpose of
maybe
this is.
say
This is just
a little
like
bit later date.
this is just a way to
When you
people
go for
over.
the
It's
shot, you
that's
do
it.
over a 5-time
It's just
period.
pure bad.
Take it
I
over
can't even
5
see any
times
like
or 4
profit
times, but
upsides for any company
take
in
it
this
in
process. You know what I
smaller
mean? Only
doses,
downsides.
and you
It's
spread
just
it out over a period.
Let's it up.
and
Let's
Well, Hasan, you think in blocks because you're a blockhead. You think in like political blocks, just like Trump giving this speech is thinking in political blocks, which is unfortunate, right? But it's reserved for dummies for a reason, and you are a needed dummy to lead a younger generation towards further blockhead behavior. So that's why you're thinking of like, well, what? I don't understand even the profit margins. What are the it's pharmaceutical companies and progressives and that's why you think like that, my man. It's unfortunate, but well, it's unfortunate for your fans. I'm sure you made plenty of money off of this, but here we go.
It up
They pump so much
aggressively.
stuff into
Who
those
gives a shit?
Beautiful little babies. It's a disgrace.
And compared to people like
I
you or
don't
me,
see it.
Jordan,
I don't-
Hassan's
I
got
think
like
it
fuck
has-
off
I think it's
money.
very bad. They're
Yeah, he's got
pumping,
millions.
It looks like they're pumping
He's in
into
a
a
He
wall.
could-
multi-million-dollar house.
You have
I
a little
believe.
child, little fragile child.
He could
and
he
you
could
gotta-
he could
Oh,
stop
God,
streaming right now,
man.
never do it
80
again,
different
and he still has
vaccines, I
enough money
guess,
to live on
80
for the rest of
different
his life if
blends,
he's careful with
and
it.
they pump it
Yeah.
in. So, ideally, a woman won't take Tylenol, and on the vaccines, it would be good instead of one visit where they pump the baby, load it up with stuff. You'll do it over a period of
Pause.
4 times or 5 times. I've been so into this issue for so many years just because I couldn't understand how a thing like this could happen. And it's artificially induced. It's not like something that when you go from all of those healthy babies to a point where I don't even know structurally if a country can afford it. And that's the least of the problems. To have families destroyed over this is just so terrible. I also, and we've already done this, we want no mercury in the vaccine. We want no aluminum in the vaccine. The MMR, I think, should be taken separately. This is based on what I feel. The
What I feel. My
mumps,
feelings.
measles, and
They haven't
the
used
three-
mercury for vaccines for. I don't know if they've ever used it, but even if they have at one point, it's been decades since then.
The one video I saw was from like the fucking 80s or 90s or something. But I don't know. I don't know enough. I'm very lost on this topic. But it looks like Trump's playing politics in a way, and Hassan's definitely playing politics. That's what he sounds like to me. Just using my critical thinking skills, he seems like he's like trying to oh what? You're dumb, without him even knowing in the topic itself, right? Just finding ways to call him dumb, which is boring.
As far as the aluminum goes, you would have to eat like a bowl of aluminum chips every day for breakfast if you wanted to poison yourself with it.
Yeah, but you don't want aluminum being injected in any form or fashion in your body. I would assume. If you told if you're being fair with people, right? You'd be like, "Hey, man, there's aluminum in this shit. I'm gonna inject it into your arm." Like, if you tell people that, all right, they might not. They might say no, like straight up. And I would think, once again, I don't know the science of all of it. I'm very ignorant about that aspect of it. But me personally, just to be like morally fair, would be like, hey, here's what's in this thing. And here's every warning on planet Earth possible so that you know what you're doing when it happens. You're not in the dark on anything. You make sure they know every little detail that you fucking know.
I agree
regards to side
that you
effects,
should do.
benefits,
I agree that you should
ingredients.
explain this to people in detail whenever you can. But as far as I understand it, aluminum. The only way aluminum can really accumulate in toxic quantities in the body is if you've got bum kidneys.
Okay.
Now, if somebody does have a kidney problem, they've got renal disease of some sort, then it's worth informing them of the risks if something they're taking has aluminum in it.
Yeah. I mean, it should be like hyper said, like very aggressively said. Just like if there's anything in your like drinking water, it should be said very harshly and very like kind of stoic and stone faced of like, yo, this shit's in here. Just so you know before you drink it. Right?
I remember a
That's what
few
healthy people
years
should be
ago.
doing.
I remember years ago. I think this is like 2017, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I started seeing stories of lead contamination spiking in parts of Chicago and Newark.
Yeah.
And that lead contamination was because there were a bunch of places around there that were still using lead pipes. And we know that lead is a toxic heavy metal that fucks up your brain.
Yeah.
That's why we don't use lead paint on our walls or our kids' toys anymore.
Yeah. And
Or we're not supposed to, but let's be honest, there are people who still do.
Yeah. And I use, like, out of habit now, I use, like, when I make, like, pasta or something, I won't use hot water into my, you know, I won't use hot water. I'll use cold water, because if there's any type of chemical, anything in the fucking pipes where hot water would, like, actually, like, kind of break it up a little, make it more malleable, and then thus could get into the fucking water, right? I'll use cold water for all my pots, right? That's
Well,
just something I do, you know, it's a personal habit.
Well, the issue with boiling water to get rid of that stuff is it'll work on. You can boil water to kill like bacteria or parasites or whatever, but if there's like a toxic metal in there,
Yeah.
the water will evaporate, but most of the metal will not.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because that shit's heavier than air.
Yeah, and that's why I
And a lot of
always
those
use
metals
cold
are also
water.
solid at room temperature.
Yeah, but maybe not visible to the eye. Maybe.
Well, yeah, we're talking individual molecules here, potentially.
Yeah, so just by habit, I use cold water before I boil it. But all right, let's keep going.
Also,
Go ahead.
cold water actually boils faster.
Wait, what? It boils faster? How the fuck is that the case?
Inertia.
Oh, like the hot water drops temperature to catch up with the pot, maybe? And it goes back up when the fire energy spreads throughout? I don't even fucking know. I have no idea what the fuck
I'll
you're talking
explain it
about.
to you another day.
Fair enough. All right. Fuck science, by the way. Fuck science. Okay? Give me sports. Sports and movies, bro. Give me that instead. All right. Here we go. Let's keep playing this.
You're getting an encyclopedia for Christmas, and you're going to like it.
It
Yes.
seems to be that when you mix them, there could be a problem. So there's no downside in taking them separately. In fact, they think it's better, so let it be separate.
I'm sorry, pause it again.
Chickenpox is already.
Yep, good.
The MMR vaccine, which is just measles, mumps, and rubella. Number one, the reason that they do that vaccine so early is because almost all the fatalities that result from those pathogens are in infants. And second, the reason that they do those vaccines. What happened?
For what?
Oh, the fatalities for measles, mumps, and rubella. Almost all those fatalities are in infants.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason they do those vaccines together is because it's actually less stress on the immune system that way. Because besides the fact that there is a neutered version of a pathogen being introduced to your body, so your white cells can get some practice on it. You're also getting spiked in the arm with something.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't just go away. Your body's got to make fucking platelets to close that shit.
Yeah. Bro, I hated
And also,
shots as a kid. But yeah, God.
well, the needles were bigger back then. I remember whenever I'd get one of those shots, my bicep would be inflamed for a week. I couldn't raise my arm more than like 45 degrees without it hurting.
Are you calling me and you old? How dare you? You're aging us.
Where's that, Billy?
You guys are fucking old, bro. You're old.
Shut the fuck up.
How old were you when the Twin Towers fell, bro?
8th grade?
Exactly.
And I had a school called Twin Towers. I'm like, the school fell? What the fuck? Joe knows what I'm talking about. Joe knows what I'm talking about. But
You're a motherfucker for that.
I swear,
I know where that place is too.
Listen, guys, I'm still a child. I really am. I float, you know. All right, but all right, the MMR thing. Do you want to keep going on that, or go back to the video? What do you want to do? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll start over because I forgot where I was.
Yeah,
The
go.
MMR vaccine, they do that shit when you're an infant, because if you get exposed to any of those when you're a newborn, it's almost always fatal. A lot of that, or almost all the fatalities from those 3 diseases are in infants.
Okay. And is there
So that's one reason to
What
do
3 diseases are you saying?
measles, mumps, rubella.
Yeah.
And the other reason that they do that all at once is because it's actually less stress on your immune system. One injection versus 3 or 4 separate injections.
which could be,
And also,
for a baby, maybe too harsh. Okay.
yeah, that can be a lot to put an infant through.
Yeah.
And as far as the hepatitis B thing, because I haven't seen this whole speech, but I'm aware that somebody made comments about hepatitis B. There's a lot of ways you can get a hepatitis virus.
Yeah. There's different types of hepatitis too, like Hep A, Hep B, Hep C. They're all very, very different. They do something similar to your body, but like the way to contract them is very different.
Yeah, like
I
if
only
you're
know of,
5,
like, rusty nails or something, or needles from people that have it already. I
That
don't
might
know.
be Hep C, or maybe that might be Hep B, but I know Hep B is apparently the party one, and then Hep A is from like foodborne illness type, like someone doesn't wash their hands after they go to the bathroom when they're serving food or something.
Okay.
is like if you're like a 5-year-old and some little brat at kindergarten decides to bite you and it breaks the skin, there's a chance a hepatitis virus could get in there.
Jesus Christ. We just call that Tuesday. Beating the shit out of each other every day. Fuck.
It's still Tuesday. Where the fuck have you been?
I'm just saying, like, you're just, like, when you're a kid, you're just, like, fucking around. You're beating each other up. You're fucking doing wrestling moves, whatever the fuck. Maybe someone gets in a fight. Whatever.
Somebody does a stone cold stunner.
Right. Or a choke slam.
Yeah.
Sorry, Angel.
Or DDT.
Actually, this is obviously after 5 years old. Like, but in, like, 2nd grade, I choke slammed a kid named Angel in the bathroom. And he was crying. And I'm like, don't tell the teacher, bro. Don't tell anyone about this. You're like, yo, you're good. We picked them up. Like, yo, you're good, bro. You're all right. Don't worry about those. It's just a Tuesday, bro.
What's
You're
wrong with
okay.
you? Piece of shit.
It wasn't like I was bullying him. It's like we were like play fighting, you know. And as a strong, dominant alpha male that's bigger than everyone else, I choke slammed him.
A male, not a beta male.
Beta. You a beta. All right. Let's actually, anything else, Joe? You want to go with that? I'm
No,
such
that's
a bot on this. Okay. Let's keep playing. Here we go. There's more Hasan and I guess Trump at the same time. Pause. Here we go.
Separate, because when that got mixed in, I guess they made it 4 for a while. It really was bad. So they make chicken pox. Individually, they're okay. When you mix them, something maybe happens. So there's no downside in doing it. It's not like, oh, if you do it, bad things. No, it's only good side. And it may not have that much of an impact, but it may have a big impact. So let those be taken separately. And then hepatitis B is sexually transmitted.
I
There's
just
no reason
explained
to
why
give
it's not
a
exclusively
baby that's
sexually
almost
transmitted.
just born hepatitis B.
I
So
couldn't have
would
scripted
say
this.
wait
I
till
am
the
so
baby is
sorry.
12 years old and formed and take hepatitis B.
All right, Joe, confirm. Have you seen this before?
I have not.
Okay. Joe confirming he has not seen this, but yet. There we are. All right, let's keep going.
Just born
The hepatitis B thing was just something I was made aware
I
of.
would say
Yeah.
wait till the baby is 12 years old and formed and take hepatitis B. And I think if you do those things, it's going to be a whole
Give him
different- it's gonna be a
hepatitis when he's
revolution
12
in a
years old, is what I
positive
heard.
sense in the country. The FDA will be updating the label
You
of
know,
an
unless they're
existing
born
drug to reflect
vaginally.
Considering what happens
potential
at those Diddy
benefits of
parties, I think
reducing
some
some
12-year-old did get
autism
hepatitis that way.
understand.
symptoms. This gives hope
Christ.
to
We're
the many
making them
parents
born
with autistic
not
children
vaginally.
that it may be possible to improve their lives. That's
Vaginally.
one of the things that I'm very, very happy about. I mean, this was mostly going to be on how not to have the child affected, but we've learned some pretty good things about certain elements
I need his-
of genius that can be
Oh,
given.
I'm sorry. This is a Hasan Piker clip. I need him to inform me right now. I have Joe here, so I'm okay. But like, I'm watching Hasan's video. He better inform me about something, somewhere, because otherwise, what the fuck am I doing here? Here we go.
Given to a baby, and the baby can get better. And in some cases, maybe substantially better. Not going to be easy, but be a lot easier if it didn't happen in the first place, as these great parents fully understand, right? They fully understand. I feel so terribly for. I have so many friends
Can't
with
make health
autistic
political.
children.
I'm
It's
saying.
it's
Can't
just
do that.
it's a tough situation.
Not if you want
To help reach
a
the
functioning
ultimate goal of
country.
ending the autism fever, the NIH will
Just
be
the world
announcing
itself,
13
yeah.
major grant awards from the Autism
But we're
Data
America,
Science
Jordan.
Initiative.
We stay the course
And
with
to be honest with you,
stupid.
to me, that's the least important. It's not even a money thing at this point. There's so much money, but they have to do, and they have to move quickly. When the alternative is that nothing bad can happen, let's do it now. I was just saying to Bobby and the group, let's do it now. Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take
What?
it. Don't take
I think his brain slipped
and
up
if
for
you
a
can't
moment there.
live, if your fever is so bad, you have to take one because there's no alternative to that. Sadly, first question, what can you take instead? It's actually, there's not an alternative to that. And as you know, other of the medicines are
there
absolutely
was.
proven bad. I mean, they've been proven bad with the aspirins and the Advils and others, right? And they've been proven bad. So I'd like to ask Bobby to get up to the podium and say a few words, and then Dr. Bhattacharya and Dr. McCary, Dr. Oz, Dr. Fink, followed by two incredible mothers that have experienced firsthand what this country is going through, what parts of the world are going through. And I will say there are parts of the
Kenview
world
gonna have
that don't
mad
take
lawsuits
Tylenol.
for him using the Tylenol
I mean,
brand
there's a
mainly
rumor,
for this.
and I don't know if it's so or not, that Cuba, they don't have Tylenol because they don't have the money for Tylenol, and they have
They don't have the money.
virtually no autism. Okay, tell me about that one.
Yeah,
What?
Cuba,
They
the
have-
country famous for its doctors and its excellent preventive care system, can't fucking get acetaminophen.
That the world should be sharing every
Christ.
good idea. It's like period. But of course we don't. Of course we don't. But
And here's a fun fact for everybody in the audience. A few years ago, I don't remember exactly what year it was, but Cuba pioneered a vaccine that can help fight certain forms of lung cancer before it really has a chance to go anywhere.
oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
I don't know
And we
enough,
were-
but I heard of that.
and we were developing something similar over here until that fucking Mango Mussolini decided to cut the program.
It didn't make my nut, Joe. Where's my nut, Joe? I need my nut.
Pause.
No pause for that fucking full,
Phrasing,
bro.
Jordan.
For that fucking full, no pause. But yeah, man, it's things like this should like. I understand people like want to shoot at each other and blow each other up and all that stuff. I hate it. I don't like it. It doesn't actually make sense in reality, but in their worlds, it makes sense. What the fuck is the point of making sure people are like hiding or not working together on health benefits for everyone because they can affect anyone? Anyone can get a fucking disease, bro, from super rich to mega poor. Especially like diseases like cancer. Any fucking demographic can get that fucking thing. How are you not working together to figure out like try to get a cure for something like that? It makes no fucking sense. It's like, fuck, these people are fucking stupid. These are not smart people. These are dumb motherfuckers, bro. Straight up. In my humble opinion. All right. But, alright, let's, I guess we keep going. Here's more from Hasan. Here we go. And just want to add like Trump playing politics and all. This fool has no idea what the fuck's going on, bro. He's reading, cards or, papers that say like, just read this. And it's like, you would think if someone cared enough, they would look into it for themselves. Just for a little bit. Like, give a fucking peek. Instead, he just
5
reads
minutes.
shit. He just reads shit. That's it.
That's all I would ask of somebody. Just do a little bit of reading for like 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah, we can't all know everything, but it's like, why are you presenting this if you don't even know a fucking lick about it? Let someone else do that, bro. Like, why not? But all right, here we go. Let's keep going. Here we go.
Paracetamol, dude. They have a paracetamol substitute. What the?
Autism. That tells you a lot. And I want to say it right now. And the way I look at it, don't take it. Don't take it. There's no downside in not taking it. So I'd like to ask Bobby to come up and say a few words. I hope I didn't ruin his day, but that's the way I feel. I've been very strong on the subject for a long time. Life is common sense too.
It can only good happen.
There's a lot of
but
common
my
sense
autism
in
is the
this, and
problem.
I wish things like this were brought up, and this group has worked so hard on it. But I'd like to be a little bit more, a little speedier in the process of a recommendation, because there's no harm in going.
Dude, this is so cooked. We are at the mercy of madmen. We are at the mercy of madmen. Once again, the dumbest, most hysterical losers in American society are getting their wishes be heard and turning it into government mandate. We are at the mercy of the most insane people, dude. Whether it be even...
I'm a little bit worried. Like, what did Hasan say about the COVID vaccines and shit like that? Was he like, yo, this is science, bro. Just take it. Was he doing that shit? I don't know from this guy. Personally, I didn't watch Hasan Piker. I mean, I've heard of the guy, but I didn't really like watch his content for anything, informative, for me at least. Like, was he talking about like that? Was he does he do like things where it's like a Democrat in office versus Republican in office? Does he like do shit like that? I could believe it. 100% I could believe that. But like, does anyone have like, and it's saying in Discord, by the way, anyone in here, it's like, is there any like sense of where he was at in regards to any stuff like that? Anyone?
Please tell us. We genuinely want to know.
I had nothing in regards to Hasan fucking Piker. But like, that'd be interesting though if he played sides, depending on who's president and what letter is next to their name or what color they wear, in regards to health things, because that shouldn't work. It should be like strictly about health, right? It shouldn't be about who's telling you to take what or to do what. Right, Hasan? Right? But I don't know. Let's keep playing.
I would hope not, but...
Yeah, that'd be worrying, I would think. But here we go.
Evangelical Christians when it comes to abortion and numerous other hysterics that this administration listens to, or whether it be all of the anti-vax cranks and their consistent advocacy that has led to RFK Jr. becoming a permanent fixture of the administration. That's what this is. They're literally giving red meat to like key constituencies of their base, and they all happen to be schizophrenic hallucinators.
Genetic drivers of autism.
As convincing charisma, Hasan.
Genetic drivers of lung cancer without looking at cigarettes, and that's what NIH is.
Yes, very enlightening.
As a result, we don't have an answer to this critical question. Despite the cataclysmic impact of the epidemic on our nation's children,
TRT to hit on interns.
We are now replacing the institutional culture of political.
He has a well-documented history of infidelity.
Medicine. NIH research teams are currently testing multiple
meth.
hypotheses
Infowars.com.
with no area off limits.
Blue meth.
We promise transparency as we uncover the
blue meth.
causes and
Shut up,
treatments.
Joe.
And we will
Blue
notify
meth.
the public regularly of our progress.
It's
Today,
Heisenberg
we are
glass.
announcing two important findings from
Infowars.com.
our autism work that are vital for parents to know as they make these decisions. First, HHS will act on acetaminophen. The FDA is responding to clinical and laboratory studies that suggest a potential association between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and adverse neurodevelopmental outcomes, including later diagnosis for ADHD and autism.
What do I say,
Scientists
man? What do you say to this? What do you say to this? What do you say to this? It's so cooked.
Then
We have
say
also
it.
evaluated the contrary.
This is like Hasan, you're not the fucking hook for me, bro. What do you say to this, bro? It's cooked. Like, you know, like, whoa, like, you know? It's not working for me. I think so. Yeah.
Say to this? It's so cooked.
We have also evaluated the contrary.
This is so
studies that
dumb.
show no
I don't know. I
association.
don't even know what to say. We're
The
literally,
FDA
his
will issue
brainworm is
physicians'
running
notice about
the
risk
health
of
initiatives in this
acetaminophen during
government.
pregnancy and begin
You
the
didn't make an
process to
argument there.
initiate a safety label change.
Say you don't know. And just move on.
HHS will launch a nationwide public service campaign to inform families and protect public health. FDA also recognized that acetaminophen is often the only tool for fevers and pain in pregnancy, as other alternatives have well-documented adverse effects. HHS wants, therefore, to encourage clinicians to exercise their best judgment in the use of acetaminophen for fevers and pain in pregnancy by prescribing the lowest effective dose for the shortest necessary duration and only when treatment is required.
Oh, so they can have a little bit of autism, I
Also,
guess? Is that
to
what
the
it is?
politicization of science. The safety of acetaminophen against the risk of neurodevelopmental disorders in young children has never been validated. Prudent medicine, therefore, suggests
no attempt ever
caution
to
in
look at
acetaminophen use by young
The
children,
software aspect of it.
especially
They only look at hardware.
since strong
so
evidence also has
chemicals and
associated
brains
it
and all that
with
shit.
liver toxicity.
No
Some
attempts to look
studies
at,
have
like,
also found that use of
maybe someone's just
acetaminophen in
different.
children can
Maybe the
potentially
time
prolong
we're
viral
evolving for all we
illnesses.
know.
FDA will drive
Never
new
looked at,
research to safeguard mothers, children, and families.
You're not
In
voting.
addition to a
So something's
possible
wrong.
acetaminophen connection to
I pause it for a
autism
moment.
women.
Yep.
Let me tell you what RFK's picture of people with autism is in his own words.
Mm-hmm.
He has said in public, you can look this up. In fact, I would love for somebody to dispute this because, again, the video's out there. I have documentation. He said that people with autism will never play baseball, will never go on dates,
That's bullshit.
will never write a poem, and that they'll never be able to use a toilet unassisted. I probably quoted those items out of order, but that's what he fucking said.
I have not heard that before, and that's bullshit to me instantly.
I'll go find it.
I've never heard that, but that's bullshit off rip to me. Now, once again, I leave room for ideas of like, is he exaggerating for the sake of trying to call caution to an idea that's out there? Could it be that? Is it political? Is it political football shit? The PR shit? Is it like, kind of like justifying his own reasons for being into politics in the first place? Like, there's a whole bunch of questions that can come from that. For me, at least. But I don't know. Like if you base the world on certain ideas and the way things work, right? And someone stands outside of that, you might call that a weird behavior or a disorder or something like that. I have questions about that. I really do. But, it'll never be welcome at the White House, probably. Unless you vote Jordan tomorrow. Vote for Jordan for President of the United States. Anyways, all right, let's keep playing. Joe, you look that up. I'm going to hit play, though. You tell me to pause when you have that. Here we go.
I've got it right here.
Yep. Okay. And you're sending it to me right now?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
YellBro me or Yellow Brick Road me?
Yellow Brick Road, you.
God damn it, Joe.
All right, I'll send it to YellBro.
Yes, please do so.
Picky.
Just easier, bro. I'm lazy.
This is an individual tragedy as well. Autism destroys families. More importantly, it destroys our greatest resource, which are our children. These are children who should not be suffering like this. These are kids who, many of them were fully functional and regressed because of some environmental exposure into autism when they're 2 years old. And these are kids who will never pay taxes. They'll never hold a job. They'll never play baseball. They'll never write a poem. They'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use a toilet unassisted. And we have to recognize we are doing this to our children, and we need to put an end to it.
Okay.
Now, there are a handful of kids who are on like the most severe end of the spectrum that unfortunately do end up that way. But that is at the very severe end. That's a fraction. Most people, if you just see them walking around, you would never know.
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%.
You would never ever know.
Same with ADD or ADHD or what was that shit I just heard in the Corbett shit? ODD, which I thought was like a joke, like a fake thing, but I guess it is like an actual thing.
That is a real thing people have tried to peddle. Personally, I think that one can be a little bullshit. Parents are a little too ready to get worried about that shit because their kid doesn't want to do what he's told. He doesn't want to sit in place for 7 fucking hours and listen to shit he has no interest in.
It's like if they define what the world, like what behavior's supposed to be, it's like I look at these three fools as like pathological, honestly. But if they're the ones defining like how behavior should look like or what it should look like or how people should behave, yeah, guess what? You're gonna have people that are like, yo, fuck these guys, they're trash. Okay, he has this disorder, he has this problem with him. He didn't get a suit and a tie and didn't, go to Harvard. Something wrong with this kid. Or that kid or that other kid. Like
he voted Democrat. Something's wrong with him.
Or so like that sounds actually Joe, that sounds like hyperbolic and ridiculous, but I'm telling you, bro. They're gonna look at kids, maybe not Democrat.
That's why I brought it up.
Maybe not Democrat, but kids that don't vote. Oh, these guys there's something wrong with them because they're not following the norms that their forefathers did or whatever the fuck. Like maybe they're smarter. You ever think about that? Ever consider that? Maybe they know more and they're like, you know what? I don't want to engage in bullshit. I'm gonna do something else that I think is like fun or awesome or interesting. But there's no actual care for the fucking patients, bro. No real care. Fuck my life. Oh my dear lord, and that is a thing. And once again, for Hasan Piker in this video at least, I'm like, yo, are you considering that idea? Or are you like, no. Follow the other team's version of, medical diagnosis of fucking kids. Or why a generation is like a generation. Or whatever the fuck. Like, seriously. Like, you might just lean into the other direction. And that's not good either to me. But I'll leave room. We're 17 minutes in. I don't plan on playing all of this, but Hasan has not said a fucking word yet that of interest to me. He's a nothing burger for me right now. But here we go. Here's more of an image of Trump, RFK, and Dr. Oz. It's just... Yeah, the Avengers. Let's call them the Avengers. Here we go. keep playing.
I don't know. Research has revealed that
You
folate
fucker.
deficiency
I don't know what to do.
in a child's brain can lead to autism. We have also identified an exciting therapy that may benefit large numbers of children who suffer from autism. Peer-reviewed literature has documented that up to 60% of folate-deficient children with ASD can have improved verbal communications if given leucovorin. I have instructed NIH, FDA, and CMS to help doctors treat children appropriately. Jay will help tell that story.
I'm sorry.
Which
Pause it
started with
again.
sound science.
Leucovorin. I just looked that up. You know what that is?
No.
It's part of the treatment regimens that they usually use on colon cancer and pancreatic cancer.
Okay. I never heard of it. Yeah.
Well, you don't really have any reason to know about it other than the fact that I just told you.
Yeah.
Bobby over here, I would hope he fucking knows what it is. Then again, even if he doesn't know what it is, that makes us just as dangerous. But it begs the question, are they idiots or are they liars?
Well, what the job versus like the actual like what's meant by the job, two different things, honestly. Like what's meant is like to be a full disclosure of information, what you understand, what you don't understand, who you're talking to, on and so forth, versus here's an answer that will shut you up and vote for a MAGA guy next term, or sorry, vote Republican maybe next midterm, right? So it's like it's a lot of smoke and mirrors to me. I don't know personally. I'm just saying like the way these guys behave in other topics would make me think that they're bullshitting here too. I can't say I know, but based on what you're saying, in response to what these guys are saying, yeah, I could believe they're just bullshitting for the sake of politics, right? To shut people up, like, hey, look, Bobby Kennedy's doing his job. See, boom. Look, Trump is looking after, this or that. See, that's what there might be actually appealing to. But yeah,
I blame a lot of this on that fucking wellness industry.
What do you mean exactly with that?
Like, supplement bros or fucking
the blue methylene,
whatever. Yeah. Which, by the way, RFK drinks that.
I know because of the Alex Infowars commercials, but yeah.
That is a dye and a cleaner for fish tanks.
Did I want to know that? Now I'm worried. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you trolling or?
I'm not kidding.
Is it like toxic to take? Or is it like, oh, whatever, because they're taking like droplets of it, I guess?
It can give you a skull-splitting headache and it can make you vomit. They used to use that shit to treat cyanide poisoning and urinary tract infections, but we've got much better shit for that now.
Well, if you don't have questions about anything Alex Jones sells you, you got problems in the first place. For me personally,
yeah.
You're already down bad.
If you're buying shit from Alex Jones's store, we've got deeper issues to discuss.
All right, let's keep going here. Once again, all the terms here from RFK or even Trump, him reading like the words, and I'm very much lost. I have very little to actually offer here other than my woo-woo logic. But all right, here we go.
The kind that restores faith in government. This announcement also represents a historic collaboration between NIH, FDA, CDC, and CMS. We expect this to be the first of many announcements over the
I know he has like
coming
a
years
disease or something, bro,
that
but I want
deliver
I want to
actionable
cough for
information
him.
to
That's what I
parents
feel
Oh
like.
my God! What do you? I mean, beacon of
He's got a
health,
form of
Daly.
paralysis that affected his vocal cords.
Yeah,
Finally,
but I get that coffee
autism
feeling.
is
I
a
just want to cough
complex
for him.
disorder with multifactorial etiology. We are continuing
Yeah,
to
that's your motor
investigate
neuron reflex acting up.
potential causes with no areas of taboo. One area that we are closely
Jesus, Alex.
examining,
That was actually
as the
mean, I
president
think.
mentioned, is vaccines.
Anyway.
The worst part of this, people are talking about his hand, right? These assholes never actually take the anti-science, anti-medicine rhetoric to heart. When doctors come to them and say,
Anti-science,
this is what you
bro.
got to do,
I
they
don't
don't
trust
go,
you, Hasan.
no, actually, I'm going to inject bleach. That's the worst part about this, because they don't even practice what they preach, bro. Because if they did, they wouldn't be here for long.
These
Hasan,
mothers for 3
I'm
decades.
convinced Hasan has no idea what the fuck he's talking about, just like I have no idea what the fuck I'm like hearing. But he's afraid to admit it. He has to look like an expert for his audience, I guess. Very weird behavior to me, but let's keep lying. Here we go.
RFK does? Yeah, well, he's on the verge of collapse. Exactly.
Has been actively suppressed in the past.
What?
It will take time for an honest look at this topic by scientists. But I want to reassure the people in the autism community that we will be uncompromising and relentless in our search for answers. We will perform the studies that should have been performed 25 years ago. Whatever the
They've already
answer
done
is,
studies on this shit too.
Through this piece of shit, by the way, is a real
Oh my
doctor.
God.
So for him to also play this song and dance is, of course,
Someone
expected,
recommended this
considering
for
if you know his
Hasan Piker.
background, you know that he was already prosecuted
for the
for
actual press conference.
selling snake oil. But he's a real doctor. It's crazy. He knows exactly what these kinds of idiotic decisions are going to lead to. But he doesn't give a
Do
because
you know,
I'm sure he has a
Hasan?
stake or something in whatever they're presenting as the
Not
cure
borrowed,
to
but
autism.
like, do you know anything
Thank
about
you, Secretary
this?
Kennedy, and thank you, President Trump.
Whatever.
I'm proud to announce today that the NIH has launched the Autism Data Science Initiative to turbocharge autism research, devoting an additional $50 million to the cause of studying autism. Nearly 250 research teams from across the country applied,
I
sent
say
in their
fine, but I don't
applications,
trust you
and were
fucking
peer
fools doing
reviewed
it
by the
at
NIH
all.
review panels.
Personally.
The NIH peer reviewers chose the 13 best projects focused on root causes and therapies, with replication and validation studies to guarantee gold standard science. The studies feature a new kind of science called exposomics, where scientists consider environmental and medical factors, nutrition, events during pregnancy, in combination with biology and genetics to answer vital questions about autism. Science like this, conducted in partnership with families and physicians, is the best way to arrest and reverse the autism epidemic. Autism spectrum disorder encompasses a very wide range of symptoms, ranging from mild difficulties with social interactions to profoundly autistic children who experience severe disabilities in speech and behavior. Given this wide range of symptoms across the spectrum, it seems certain that there will be a wide
Hey Jordan, I'm
range of
having some
biological
difficulties with
contributors
my
to explaining the
behavior. I
cause.
have this nagging urge to raise a middle finger. I guess I have to be committed now.
It's called Stone Cold Fever, son. Oh, hell yeah. I can't do his
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
You feel like raising a middle finger and drinking a beer? You have Austin 316 syndrome.
If you feel like raising a middle finger and drinking a beer, give me a hell yeah. And that's the bottom line, because YellBro said so.
All right, here we go.
The great thing about the new
Shout out
NIH
to wrestling
initiative on
fans.
autism is that scientists
not,
will
go
use
fuck
rigorous,
yourself.
advanced methods in causal
If you're not,
intelligence,
you've been missing
machine
out.
learning, organoids, and other fresh approaches to the
They're
problem.
gonna fucking
Allie knows who
it.
Stone Cold is.
Oh, machine learning.
Oh.
Oh,
I've
Lord.
never
Yes, you
right
did.
there.
Yes, you
I
did.
don't mean
Don't lie
it.
to me.
Bobby said the NIH
No, I
pretend
know.
that.
I took back my saying
over the
fuck
years.
off.
Oh,
But the research
brother.
has not produced the answer
You're right, I do.
that families and
Yeah,
parents of autistic children deserve, and autistic children themselves
True
deserve.
millennial.
For too long, it's been tabooed at
I know.
for fear that scientific work might reveal a politically incorrect answer.
Oh my
Because
god.
of this restricted focus in scientific investigations, the
Takes one to know one.
is similarly restricted,
from autism
often pointing
research.
fingers
I'm
at
proud of it.
behavioral
You're
therapies
just-
that don't work for every kid.
I'm proud
Suggest
too. Proud millennial.
non-modifiable genetic factors as the cause.
Yeah, whatever.
Genetics
just what?
alone can't explain
Yeah, that's what I
such a
thought.
sharp rise in autism
You're
prevalence
snail,
over
so you're
just
slow,
a few
so
decades,
that's it.
as the president said.
That's
In
cool.
coming months and years, as NIH scientists learn more that can help autistic
Jordan will have the last
children and their
word.
families, we won't
I win.
delay.
I'm done.
Like scientists often like
No.
to do. Like I say, as a scientist myself, it's really tempting to delay, but you have to. But
I will always have the last word.
in face of a problem like this, you have to
You're always
move
in last
fast.
place. That's
But
why.
but we will not delay before telling
Yep,
American people.
so I'll
what
have the
we
last
find,
word.
and we will win the public trust with transparency and rigor. Already, our broadened focus on autism research has pointed to 2 items that will help families prevent and treat some cases of autism. I'll leave the good news on these 2 items to my close friends and colleagues, Dr. McCary and Dr. Oz. We've been working together closely on this problem for the past
Yeah, that's who we
Let's
need
hear the
advice
name.
from.
Collaboration represents an unprecedented collaboration with Secretary Kennedy's Department of Health and
Yeah, that's who the fuck we need advice from. That fucking charlatan.
Like, I've only heard of this fool through, like, I guess, like, talk shows, right? So when I hear, like, from, Dr. blah, blah, blah and Dr. Oz, I'm like, what? I was just like, I don't know, my mind, like, breaks a little bit. Like, the TV guy
Right.
or...
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the
like, wait,
TV
him?
guy.
Huh?
I still have
Is
trouble
that true?
reckoning with the fact that that's real.
Oh, it is. This is all very real.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Dr. Oz has been up to some illegal shit himself, so
Wait, what's that? I only know the
Says you.
TV shit.
well he one of the things he would do a lot on TV is he would peddle these fucking quack remedies to people because he's a charlatan, he's a quack.
Like, he's
But
like,
what he would-
personally tied to or something? Like, he makes money off of it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. So he's Alex Jonesing. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
He's Alex Jones. He was Alex Jonesing for over a decade on fucking broadcast television, and I will never forgive Oprah Winfrey for inflicting him on this planet. Because that's how he got his start on TV.
Okay.
Oprah promoted him.
I do not know enough about Dr. Oz, apparently. All I know is the name as like a
I
brand
wish you didn't.
almost.
If I had anything resembling my way, you'd never have to know about him.
I think of him like I think of like Wendy's or McDonald's. Like, I know the brand name. I don't really eat there too often, but I know the fucking brand name of it. But even less so with Dr. Oz, just like the name, Dr. Oz. That's a catchy name. Maybe he's a wizard. All right, here we go.
and Services and with President Trump.
Well, he's certainly good
I'm
at
delighted to
fooling
introduce
people.
Dr. Marty McCary, Commissioner of the Food and Drug Administration, who will tell you about these announcements of practical help for families with autism.
Great, thank you, Dr. Bhattacharya. Mr. President, this is the start of a historic shift in medical culture. This administration is working together to ask big questions.
Medical culture.
Why our nation's children are getting
He ain't wrong. It is. It's just
feel
not
like
in a
shit
good
on this.
direction.
Making fun of
doing
everything.
small little studies giving us answers we already knew. But we've got to make a difference. You've given us a charge to identify root causes, and we are not going to stop so that we can end the suffering we are watching. And if you've seen a kid with autism, with severe autism, it's hard to watch. Kids get frustrated, they get angry, they can be crying because they want to speak and they can't speak. It's hard to watch, and it may be entirely preventable. For an epidemiologist, that child is an expanding statistic. But for a child,
Also need to understand something here. Not only is this like
Today,
not
the FDA
a
is
curable
taking
disease,
Yeah, I don't know.
but it's
I don't
also
know about it.
not like
and sending a letter
a
to all US
severe
doctors
I know
setback.
enough to tell you
The
that
way that
these
they're
guys are
presenting this
We now
pulling the shit out of their asses.
as a curable disease
Mm.
is only going to stigmatize
Researchers
people with
that
autism
from
further.
Johns Hopkins, my former
It's
These guys don't know the
nutty.
first fucking
Yeah.
thing about
It's
it.
just like it's
Consistent
just eugenics. It
associations
seems like.
between acetaminophen in pregnancy and autism. And the Nurses' Health Study with researchers from Yale, Columbia, and Harvard looking at 9,000 kids found that acetaminophen use in pregnancy was associated with neurodevelopmental disorders.
What if they
And
find
4
autism
weeks
to be
ago,
inherited?
a
I
Mount
mean,
Sinai
it is.
Harvard
It
study
is.
reviewed all
It is
the existing
inherited. Will they
literature
start a
and
sterilization
found the
campaign?
overwhelming body of evidence points
Hope
to an
not.
association. Sure, you'll
I don't know though.
a study to the
Sean's
contrary.
in
That's how
pure politics
science
right now.
works.
Please.
God,
But
yeah, for
the
sure.
dean of the Harvard School of Public Health. There is a causal relationship between prenatal acetaminophen use and neurodevelopmental disorders of ADHD and autism spectrum disorder. We cannot wait any longer. And honestly, there's been this
Don't these
perfunctory,
guys like not
reactionary,
support? I thought that was like,
mindless
liberal school. It's just funny when they
practice in
pick and
medicine. I
choose and they
learned
want
it
to
in
fight
medical
shit and then
school
they
and
don't.
residency. Just
Yeah.
treat all fevers, low-grade fevers, treat them with acetaminophen. Why? What are we doing? A study out of Hopkins actually showed that treating a fever can prolong the duration of illness in a young kid. Maybe that's because a fever is a
Wait,
body's
what?
natural way of ridding an infection.
Wait,
Is this,
When my
is
wife
this global
was-
warming subject or
he's a
something?
doctor.
What the fuck? It's just a natural way. I mean, yeah, that's true, but like,
How is that possible?
She said
have the
no,
drugs on
and she
hand
looked
if
to me and
needed.
I said,
I don't-
absolutely
Weird.
Yeah.
new.
Pause that for a moment again. I'm sorry, I
And
keep
also, you're
interrupting.
to announce
Sounds like clown.
All right, so a
poop
couple things.
sometimes. But yeah, good.
Just a couple items I got to get through here. One's going to be a lot quicker than the other. All right, fever, yes, that is part of your body's immune response, but because our bodies can be stupid sometimes, like sometimes your hypothalamus will raise the temperature up to something stupid like 103 or 104 or 105 degrees Fahrenheit, which can hurt you very badly in the long run. Sometimes we need those antipyretics.
Mhm.
Right. Second item. This isn't totally related to what's going on here on the screen, but this will paint a clearer picture of how Trump views these things. One of Trump's nephews, Fred Trump III, has a son named William. He's pretty severely disabled. I don't know if he has any mental deficiency of any kind, but I know that he does have some serious physical impairments because I think he has a form of cerebral palsy.
Okay.
You know what Trump said?
What?
Trump said like he felt bad for him, but that they should just let him die.
What?
Yeah.
Like put him out of his misery. Like,
Yeah.
did he mean it? I'll leave room in like a human way. Like, put him out of his misery type of way, or like he shouldn't be alive because of his condition. Like
he's
go ahead.
lesser or something. You're saying?
Right.
Yeah. And Trump
He's
has
not saying I'm like, oh, put him out of their misery, which neither great, but I just didn't know context.
Yeah.
And also from other things I've been made to understand, Trump has a documented fascination with eugenics.
Oh, we're going conspiracy here. I have no fucking clue. He seems like a fucking oaf idiot, dumb fuck to me.
I'm like picturing him sitting in Trump Tower reading like late at night about
Nobody
Sorry,
ever said
sorry.
fascists had to be smart. Or at least not these days.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's your vertical in basketball? Yeah, you gotta go. Sorry. It's not high enough. You gotta go. What's your vertical? Don't ask questions, okay?
Listen,
You're done for.
listen, Trump's very compassionate, okay? He cares about that family member, so fuck you, Joe. And your stupid fact.
Aren't I just the worst?
Yes.
This guy, Trump's barely paying attention to this shit.
I'm obviously saying these things because I'm a far leftist and I hate successful people.
Well, the country will deal with you when it's time.
Yes, but until then, I'm offering up this aborted fetus to our prophetess Nancy Pelosi.
I don't know this man. I
Jesus
don't know why he's talking to me. Yeah.
He sounds like
as right wing as they come. I don't know who get this guy out here.
He loves hate speech.
Oh, fuck.
Sit down. Sit down. He loves hate speech. I'm trying to work on the voice. I'm the best. Ryan. They tried to get Anthony wants to shit. They tried to give me the virus. It never worked. I'm immune to it.
Well, you got years. You got years left to pass. He's gonna be in charge for a while, so it's cool. It's chill.
Christ.
We're good.
He gave me the kung. He tried to give me the kung flu. I'm immune to it.
I'm immune to it. I've got good genes. I'm immune to a lot of things.
That's pretty good too.
My hands are small, but my heart is
You're making
big.
him happy. Your leader's happy.
All right, let's keep. I'm still
Yeah,
waiting for
let's-
Hasan to like say anything of substance here. He says like a little things here or there, I guess, but like it's political. But I want some.
Like, fuck, let me stream like all day and just do that. Sorry, just
know.
really quick. Like he's like, oh, I don't know, dude. Oh, what? Like I could do that. The fuck?
Give me a gaming room like this and a bear for a dog, and I'm good, bro. Give me a multi-million-dollar mansion with my name and LED lights. I'll make it work, bro.
Right? Like
All right.
the fuck? Right? That's the best.
All right, here we go.
Good news. Today, the
Is he a
FDA is
Christian
filing a Federal
Scientist?
Register notice to change the label on an exciting treatment called prescription leucovorin so that it can be available to children with autism. You know, autism may also be due to a
Oh, they're announcing a
autoimmune reaction to a
What?
folate receptor on the brain, not allowing
Oh,
that
no.
important vitamin to get
mean,
into
yeah,
the brain
it's good.
cells. It's a fairly established, mature pathway.
Bro,
Again,
some
we have
fevers,
It's called
if left unaddressed with medical
minimum.
intervention, can cause
Get it in stores today.
permanent brain damage and
I have no
even
business
kill
ties to
people.
them. Don't worry,
What the
I will make a
fuck are we
profit.
talking about, dude?
Folate deficiency.
What are you talking
Two-thirds of kids
about?
with autism symptoms had improvement, and some marked improvement.
What the fuck?
Mr. President, you told us to do what's medically right, to go bold, and not worry about the corporations and the
pause.
lobbyists. So that's what we're here doing today, Thank you, Mr. President.
Don't worry about the corporations. Go bold.
That dude walked off like he's never talked to Donald Trump in his life. He's just like,
Yeah,
and you do this and you do that, and then I'm gone. See you later.
Bro.
Trump's like,
And
who
goodbye.
the fuck is that? Who is that?
He's kind of never said that. What the fuck?
He walks off like he wasn't meant to be there in the first place. Look at the watch this fool.
Medically right, to go bold, and not worry about the corporations and the lobbyists. So that's what we're here doing today. Thank you, Mr. President.
Puts his head down.
Thanks, Marty. I think you all
Yeah,
appreciate
get the fuck out.
passion
He's like, and I don't even
in
get
the
it.
president's voice.
There's my
I've been
man,
hearing that
Dr. Oz.
since the inauguration.
Yeah.
In fact, even before the inauguration, the president was upset about what he spoke to today. And so together with
Dr.
Secretary
Oz is getting
Kennedy,
a
who's made
slow
his life's
zoom in,
work to
which is
address some of these
crazy.
challenges with autism, they challenged us. In fact, they were harsher than that. They wanted no silos.
What the fuck?
To break down what the NIH
Ad
would
blocker.
do, what the FDA would
It's
do,
on.
what CMS
Oh,
would
he's
do. They
upset.
insisted that the physician leaders bust through the clutter because their agencies had the power if we didn't do what every other prior administration had done, which is to let people function within their siloed environments. Because of that, in historic
Oh, hey, it's turning
in a
out
very
just like
accelerated
good.
manner, we have a response today to the autism crisis. It is the first
Have you
of
watched
several
Dr.
chapters,
Oz, Ali,
but this
before?
is breaking news. You've heard
Like,
some
like
of
the
it.
TV show.
Not in a
Response to the
long
autism
time.
crisis
I would
is
just
gonna
see him like
continue
here and
to
there.
come
I remember this
how
guy.
people are television guys.
I'm like you. Like, I remember him from TV, like the random, like Dr. Oz. The name is Dr. Oz. I just never was like, oh yeah.
I was like
He's-
curious if you like, is he doing like the TV personality voice or not? Like, I have no idea. So like, have you seen that?
I
shit
feel like he
before?
is.
Let me tell you right
I
now.
just-
After this break, we'll be right back.
Like-
Points at the camera.
I love that he got picked. Like, I love that he's. I mean, I don't love it. It's just like, why of all people, Trump's like him. What an interesting. I don't know.
It's because we're getting trolled.
Like-
That's why we're getting. fucking
Yes, we
trolled.
are. Yes, we are. In every way. It's fun. I think it's fun. Fun. Good stuff.
Our new ballistics expert coming in today. Ronald McDonald, come on in. He knows the ball pits. He knows how balls work. Bring us in. Come on in. Ballistics expert.
Lots of balls.
Ronald.
Lots of balls.
Show us your balls, Ronald.
Mr. McDonald, please tell us how you feeling. It's like it's just become we're being trolled. But all right,
Yeah.
here we go. Here we. Wait, what the fuck?
By the way,
There you go.
Dr. Ross, even RFK Jr.
The
Like,
FDA,
this is the
FDA,
podcast, their
based on
television
NIH
administration.
is approving prescription leucovorin
Okay, that's actually funny.
for treatment of autistic
Yeah.
children.
The podcaster
Now, if you're following this,
administration.
there should be two questions.
It's true, kind of, honestly.
That should come to your mind. The first is, how will patients and parents get access to the treatment? I'll tell you how. Over half of American children are covered by Medicaid and CHIP, government health insurance. Over half.
What?
Well,
Therefore,
they're
because they're
cutting
covered
that.
by Medicaid and CHIP, upon this label change by Marty, state Medicaid programs in partnership with CMS will cover prescription leucovorin around the country. It's yours, but you have to go to a doctor to get a prescription because they know your child, they know you, and they know the medication.
Oh, dear God.
States will
This
also
is
have
just
tools
wonderful.
to monitor its use and ensure appropriate utilization. That's important for a bunch of reasons because we want the right kids getting the right prescription medications. We believe private insurance companies will rapidly follow our lead if they have not already done so. And again,
No, the
ensure
fuck
that
they
there's
won't.
an effective treatment,
Holy
you need
shit.
a physician to prescribe the medication because it's on prescription. Second big question. How are we going to collect clinical data to answer the big questions that the president's asking and the secretary insists that we offer? CMS
my
is also issuing guidance to
I smell a
convince
HIPAA
states and
violation
existing
coming.
research networks to
Oh,
Using TV
HIPAA
personalities.
violations won't even be a
in their
thing.
research
Yeah.
efforts of prescription
sell us
leucovorin,
stuff.
while
Oh my
also
God, these
maintaining the
TV
privacy of
personalities.
all patients, all health information of our beneficiaries.
Holy shit.
Collecting
That's
real
the only
data,
reason
which is
Trump
what many of
picks
you
a
have
lot
been
of these
asking us
fucking
to
Wait,
do.
people
literally,
because he
yeah,
sees them
even
on
another
TV.
one.
Fast and
Another one.
life-saving, and we'll get answers based on what happens over the next few months with this approach. The aggressive approach, and it is aggressive, demanded
it's an
by the
experiment.
president and by the secretary, have
I
already
think Trump might
identified
be
this
one of
fact as
those
an open
proud
door
few
for the
cases where TV actually does rot your
FDA-recognized
brain.
treatment pathway for autism.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm agreeing with
They're
I'm
not
agreeing with my
leadership of the
fucking
president
parents on
and the
TV.
secretary. The five-fold increased prevalence of
Listen,
autism
I'm going
over
to
the
counter
past
everything you
25
say about
years
him while he's
demands a
president, okay?
rapid response.
Of autism
The
simply
average
terrifying.
clinician, researcher, we spoke to many,
Listen, I ain't
thought it
doing
would
shit
take
until I
5
see
years to get
Montel.
this data.
If I see
Parents
Montel,
are
bro, I'm in,
unwilling
bro.
to wait
I'm
5
voting
years.
MAGA.
The president is
Here on
unwilling
out.
to wait 5 years for these results. So the president and the
Oh
secretary
my
are
God.
acting today with this
I don't know what he
tri-agency
would do
move.
in
The
charge of, but
administration's bold
it'd make
actions
something.
investing in groundbreaking research follow the science. They restore trust, which has been lacking, and they will change the trajectory for millions of American families. Mr. President, God bless you for being brave. Let me introduce Dr. Finn.
Such a brave boy. And it's true.
Dude. Oh, that wrecked me. Mr. President, thanks for being brave. He's just
Being
like,
brave.
yeah, whatever. Okay.
He just puts his hand out barely like, you up, bro? You good? You
I'm wrecked.
And we'll be right back. He points to I need that moment. He points at the camera. We'll be right
oh,
back.
fuck.
Just like,
Yeah,
I need that shit.
sure.
Like, if you're gonna do it, like, lean into it, bro. Just do it.
Right.
Why not? It's like, no fucking around, bro. Just fucking do it. There
Again,
we go.
I hate to agree with parents anywhere about this, but in this case, the TV brain rot is real. I'm sorry.
I mean, once again, I know nothing about the medical aspect of all this, but like, the aesthetics are 100% Idiocracy, the fucking movie. It's like,
Yeah.
right in line, and I'm wrecked by that. But, okay.
Like, I can't just see this and be like, oh, okay, cool, and listen, like, without being like, wait, you know, like, are you seeing this? Like, how it's all of it. It isn't real, but it
What is
is
it
so
called?
real.
What's that shit called? Like Uncanny Valley, where you're just like, you're looking at it, you're just like, no, right? This is not. Is
It's
it?
so
It's like, let me
it's
look
so
again.
close
Is
to
it
being,
what I'm
Yep.
seeing?
it's so
I
close to
feel like
looking
every
real,
day lately is like,
but
huh?
it's just far away enough to disturb you.
It's
But it's like, it's also like, oh, huh. Makes sense. Checks out. And it's saying, yep. But it's just like, fuck.
well, I thought I felt good. Well, not felt good, but I thought I felt very confused after watching the Candace, Charlie Kirk theories and videos. And I thought this would be like much simpler, but apparently not. I'm getting nothing from Hasan, and I swear the TV characters I'm watching that he's reacting to are boiling my brain to liquid. I think I'm wrecked. I am wrecked. Whatever. Let's keep playing. Here we go.
A quick question for whoever the fuck is in charge of the daytime Emmys. Can somebody please, like, revoke all of his? Can we issue a negative Emmy? He owes them an Emmy now. Is that a thing?
I didn't even know he had Emmys, to be honest with you. So, okay. You know what,
Don't ask me how the fuck he got them.
Fuck it, take them away. All right.
Sheer talent.
Here we go.
Don't ask me how he got any of them.
That announcement and handshake was like actually impressive. So, shout out to Dr. Oz for that. This is not possible without you, Mr. President. Give me a handshake. Here we go.
That hair's looking pretty good too.
Administrator, and after Dr. Fink, we've got some wonderful women, Jackie and Amanda. If, I know it's gonna be tough, but if you can make some comments about this.
Bro, they're
historic
talking
day.
about autism like it's like AIDS. They're talking about autism like it just like kills you. If you have the tism, you're cooked.
As a pediatrician
And
mom,
not just like have, you know, varying degrees of hyperfixations on
like
trains and shit. You know what I mean?
Bill
Or you're
or
like a
Ted.
numbers guy.
of whether to
Maybe
take
both.
acetaminophen during pregnancy. It's hard to hear
tough
information
to look at
that
kids with
challenges the
autism.
status quo.
I'm not wrecked.
We are sharing this information not to confuse, but to
Same with
empower
men
parents to make the
kissing.
best choices when taking medication during
Yeah,
pregnancy.
who did recommend this to you?
We are all
Please
concerned
stop.
about
Some
the
kids
rising
have it
rates
worse
of
than you know.
neurodevelopmental
Shut the up. I do know. That's why I said to varying degrees. It can be debilitating, but it's
Listen,
simply
I'm gonna
not
let this
a
play.
disease.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh my God, chatter.
We are also sharing this information with our nation's doctors. And we encourage you, as always, to consult with
Well,
your
I would
doctor
fucking hope
to make
so.
the best decision for you. All too often, it's easy to think
You know what I'm
that
hoping
medicines
for,
we
Allie?
buy without a prescription pose
What?
little to no risk.
I'm hoping
to
that
the
this
mom
ends with them
or the
getting a
baby.
fucking tsunami of
As you
angry
heard today,
letters.
Pregnant women who need high
Letters of
fever or
support.
pain reduction during pregnancy should take the lowest effective dose of acetaminophen for the shortest possible duration. Most women.
Any
will
doctors
not
watching
meet these
this, I will settle
individuals.
for nothing less than a tsunami of angry letters.
I am encouraged by
Yeah,
these developments
The
today.
administration is
because
like
it is
one
another
step removed from putting all autistic people that they've branded as autistic into camps where they sterilize them by force. And there are parents in here with autistic children yelling at me because I didn't like sufficiently talk about some of the worst aspects of this spectrum. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President and team, for all your work. This is an historic day, and I'm thankful to be here. I have a son who's 5 who is profoundly autistic, and you've probably heard if you've
Profoundly.
met one autistic child, you've met one autistic child.
I'm sorry.
on the spectrum, which I don't think
No,
the spectrum is
that
helpful,
works
but
here.
that's another conversation.
You know what I mean?
He is an amazing little boy.
Is this lady high?
An honored kid, bro. I got a 5-year-old with full-blown,
No.
with the full-blown autism.
He's marvelous. He can count to 1,000. He knows all of his letters and the sounds they make and a word for each one. But he also has a lot of obstacles. He is nonverbal. He can say those numbers and letters, but there's no communication. Unless you've lived with profound autism, you have no
Hi,
idea.
Amy.
You have no
Yeah,
idea.
Pause it, Jordan.
He, like you said, he
What fucking 5-year-old is having long conversations with mommy or daddy?
Not me at 5 years old. I'm like toy, Happy Meal, baseball. Like that's it.
So, like they can have conversations, but like I don't know about like that in depth. All my friends' kids that are like 5 aren't talking about that.
Like, part of me is already convinced that this lady is freaking out like this because her kid doesn't want to sit down and pay attention for an hour.
Possibly.
Say, he's fucking
I mean, this poor
fine.
woman
Let him run
probably
around.
knows where. And like, hey, come talk. Hey, come talk.
Oh, that was an echo. I think I missed
They
what you
think
said,
you're
Allie.
annoying,
I
Amy.
heard it twice. I think they went over each other. Go ahead, anyone.
Bueller.
It's fine.
I
Yeah.
think it was Amy's
Like,
audio double echoed it.
Yeah, it was Amy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. When I see that people aren't harming anyone, they're just doing their thing. I don't get offended by that. Like, okay, cool, do your thing. Whatever you're like, is there anything that someone's into? Like, oh, they are in the things. Why are we getting in the way of that? Okay, now I hear now I hear myself.
You're echoing, Amy.
YellBro's the best. Damn it. Never
I'm
works.
pretty. Fuck.
Sit
Doesn't work for me
down.
either.
It's torturing Amy right now. Okay. You're gay. Sit down. Okay. All right. Here we go. Just keep playing.
He will get frustrated because
Put
he can't
headphones
speak.
in, Amy.
It's not even that he can't speak. Sometimes he just doesn't understand what I'm saying. He understands the word no, but he doesn't understand the why behind the no. And that's a huge part of discipline. That's the discipline. So it's very hard to discipline a child with autism.
He doesn't understand
Discipline?
the why behind
The
the
why
word
behind
no
the
because
no?
he's
What?
fucking
What?
5.
What?
Why is it put in that
The
context?
why behind the no? The child can ask why. The child can ask
Oh my
why.
god.
The child is more than wow. ODD type shit. This is what it's reminding me of, like that same crossover.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I'm not even gonna try to be like an asshole because I don't like this lady could be like for real and like she's maybe struggling with communicating
Right.
with her kid and all that stuff but these guys out
Mhm.
behind her, it feels like like they're abusing maybe her story. Who knows? I can't say I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I hope not. I'll say that. I hope not. But yeah, I don't have kids, so I never raised kids before. I don't know.
I've dealt with enough 5-year-olds to know that they never want to
Same.
stay
They're
in one
not
place
talking.
for more than 2 minutes.
Fair enough. I've dealt with little kids, but I was also a little kid when I did deal with little kids. It's like I'm 8, my cousins are like 5 or something like that. Like meaning I have no like real reference personally.
I think tomorrow I'm gonna reach out to some of my friends that are teachers that do special needs. I just realized that I'm gonna ask them what's up with this? I'd be curious.
I mean, please show them this thing and like where they're going with all this.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as like a special needs teacher or daycare or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm curious about all of a sudden?
What's up?
It's like, let's say like 10, 15 years from now. Let's say this lady's kid happens to stumble upon this whole press conference because it's in a video archive somewhere. What's he gonna think after he hears this shit?
Fair enough. That's fair enough, actually.
Yeah. It's like I'm picturing it going something like, "Mom, what the fuck? Why are you putting me on blast out in public?"
Sorry, yeah.
I mean,
So
yeah, fair enough.
You just set a time bomb on your relationship with your son, lady. I'm sorry.
Well, I hope it doesn't go to that, but I hope it's more of like, oh, mom was trying to help, and
Yeah, I hope so too.
I hope
it
it's
could just be
that,
some
but
like mom.
I hope so too, but hope and expect are two very different things.
Well, there's real life, right? Where it's like you're a kid,
Yeah,
right? And you're like, God damn it, that's my mom. Fuck, right? It's like, overlooking after me. Fuck this shit. Got to rebel a little bit.
We might not even have to wait 10 years. Could be as little as 5 for all I know.
Yeah. All right, let's keep playing. There we go. And by the way, I have worked with younger kids, but they're like 10, 11, like 9 or 10 at like a baseball camp.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're not cursing, but they're, they know how to be assholes, basically. Like they're not like little kids, like really little kids. So, all right, here we go.
Yeah, they're troublemakers. Nothing wrong with
Very
that.
isolated.
We all do it.
Parent
I
with
know.
a profound autistic
Trust me,
child.
I've been tortured.
Even just taking them over to your friend's house.
I'm sure you've
years
got
coaching kids too, by the way.
Again,
After that,
they're
like,
gonna be
I'm
met
only doing
with
high school
no,
kids, bro. I
no,
can't just
no,
do it.
and
There's a reason
Yeah.
They're
that
kicking my ass, bro.
meltdown. And then you're in a situation where
there's
you
a
just
reason
feel
that
like
was
you
your
just
only
can't
year
protect your
coaching with
kid.
12 and under league.
So it's just better not to do it. You learn your limits, and it's been really hard. This is amazing that we're here today. And no one has been able to point to anything to say this is what caused it. And you can't point to that and say it didn't cause it. I have no idea. I am completely open, not blaming anything, but I'm open to the discussion and the fact that there's work being done to find answers. I'm very grateful. I was already excited to vote for Mr. Trump anyway, as president.
Pause it again. I'm sorry I keep interjecting.
No, you're good. Please go ahead.
This is like in my territory, so I almost feel obligated to.
Yeah, do your thing. Go ahead.
We do know what causes it.
We do.
I don't think
What is it?
Yeah, I don't think the exact genotype has been nailed down, but we know that whatever does this does it before the baby is born, so it is genetic.
Okay.
And also, the scholarship on this is still fairly new, so it hasn't exactly been pinned down yet. But it's also believed now that the age of the parents can play a part. It's like if the parents are in their mid-30s instead of their mid-20s, it's believed that might have something to do with it.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so somehow the microphone's failing. But what I want to say is that anything genetic could also be related to an interaction with environmental factors. And one of the things that seems to be an environmental issue is that certain people are better at addressing or detoxifying from an environmental exposure than others. And so that variability, which is genetic, including other things like past exposure, total load of exposure. So, and then a combination with other kinds of exposures, all of those things together have to be looked at. And so, this whole idea of trying to isolate things into genetics, a lot of people feel was a trick or a misdirection by the government to try to only look at genetics. But for example, I think it's Stephanie Seneff at MIT has done a lot of work looking at, aluminum exposure coupled with the influence of glyphosate. So that's two different environmental exposures interacting, so that somehow the glyphosate impact on the gut might affect the detox effectiveness, or the health of the systems that are needed to function properly. So I don't know. There's definitely evidence with mercury that kids who were fine, they were putting out mercury in their hair, and kids who were suffering were not seeming to do that. I don't know how systematic that was, but these are the kind of questions that people wanted funded with research and were not, and because it was politically kind of.
Are you saying?
And so I did.
Sorry.
That makes sense. Oh yeah.
Are you saying like they got the vaccine, but certain kids, like, I guess, secreted the poisons or toxins in the vaccine versus others that didn't?
Possibly. I mean, there's evidence that took place. Was that systematically studied? I don't know. I'm not up on that lately, but
I know nothing, so I was just like
there was a lot of mercury that was used in vaccines because it was seen as an some antimicrobial thing that would protect. So you have these vials that they would, get 10 different shots out of one bottle because the needle would go in through this cover. And it would be, so then they wanted this thing to protect from contamination with each, the needle is sterile, but just in case there's some sort of, thing on the surface getting introduced, whatever it is. So then, that mercury.
That video. Yeah. Or, a video about
there's
that.
A lot. There's a lot in a lot of books, but this thing was one of these things brought in from, when there was different standards for testing and everything. So it's like sort of grandfathered in, but then when they looked at after, in 1986 is when they took away the liability, responsibility for the vaccine and set up the vaccine for the childhood vaccine. So you got a whole bunch more, and then nobody checked how much total mercury are these kids getting. And then aluminum was also being used as an adjuvant so that you could use less of the material that you want the immune system to learn how to recognize and stimulate the immune system with the aluminum adjuvants. So then aluminum and the toxicity of aluminum is an important question. And the foremost researcher on that, he got pushed out in the wake of COVID from his job in Leeds. It's Dr. Exley. So, it's kind of interesting thing. And then there's this great book by a person who worships vaccines named, I think, Ben Goldacre, but he wrote an amazing book called Bad Pharma, and he's looking at all the structural influences, financial, political, everything, academic publishing, everything that the pharmaceutical industry has when it comes to drugs, but then he completely forgets everything he knows and wrote about and put a great book together for when it comes to vaccines, because it's like the religion takes over and the logic and the rationality and the critical thinking goes out the window. So, yeah, but when you read his book, Bad Pharma, How Drug Companies Mislead Doctors and Harm Patients, when you read that book, you'll understand how they have influence over medical departments, how they have influence over state and then federal legislators, how they influence over the media, because in the United States, it's one of 2 countries where direct-to-consumer marketing is allowed. So that means they have a huge influence on the business decisions of these media outlets because they're buying a lot of ad space. And in a lot of countries, that's illegal, so then they wouldn't have that kind of an influence. So I think it's New Zealand and the US, at least, the last time I looked into this carefully, it was just those 2 countries that allowed this. So that gives you a media influence if you're one of their big customers of ad buys. So, that book is a great little, tour of influence, and then they would do the, send the doctors on trips. And then the thing with the vaccines that's different is there's this whole mythology around it, that it is like the sacred scientific progress marker that you can't question. And if you do, you get slandered and labeled and called a conspiracy theorist, or you hate science. And it's like it's a taboo to even question. And so obviously any kind of intervention, you want to look at the pros and cons, try to measure the impact, look at, are certain chronic diseases higher in a certain group, not just autism, but like cancer or autoimmune disease, life-threatening allergies. All of these things have gone up, and there's a lot of other changes that have happened. So it might not just be vaccines, or it might not be vaccines at all for some of these or all of them, but why can't we look, Anyway.
I am such a bot on all of this shit. I'm just like a passive observer. I know absolutely nothing. I'm a fucking bot, honestly.
A lot of what you
have
said
kids,
made sense to me.
it's really hard because you have to look into all this and make your own decision, and then you get a lot of pressure. That's another thing when you go to the doctors, they pressure you and treat you like you're a bad person. And if you want to talk about it, they don't want to talk about it. I'm like, oh, I'm ready to talk about it. Well, what do you think about this? Oh, no. You just need to do this. It's very ends up becoming a very important question when you have kids, I think. So one day you might have to look into this. But actually, it's all of our interest, because then we saw that they had a COVID vaccine for everybody. So what was the reliability? What's the reliability of that industry? What is the corruption in the industry? What is the oversight of the industry? These are all just structural political questions that you need to understand how it's working, to understand if your trust is well placed in a novel technology for a supposed pandemic that you can, barely find without a test. And
Well, I don't know if you dropped that right there, but that I can handle. The idea of like asking questions and all that shit. I'm saying like, as far as like any even like basis of understanding like what the correct answer is in regards to like what's effective, what's not, I have no fucking clue. I can ask questions all day and night, but I have no like reference point personally. That's what I was saying, basically. But either way, okay. We just heard from, I guess, a mom that, I guess, is her kid's behavior, and I guess she's leaning into thinking what the administration is thinking. I say fair enough, but let's hear more, I guess. Here we go.
RFK doing his
It's a
work, I
long-ass
was
fucking video.
ecstatic.
Fuck
I
it.
could not wait for
Yeah.
this work to be done, that somebody would try to find us some answers.
Shit, it's already like
Just
1
very
a.m.
grateful.
Yeah.
Fuck
Pray
it.
for my son
according
every
to
day.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
8 Tylenol when
We'll
you
be
were
done soon,
pregnant.
Jeff.
How does that
I'll end it
work?
soon.
Yeah, you did this seemingly a horrible thing to your child because you presented as this horrible
See how
disease that
Hassan's
you've
taking a
inflicted
position
upon
without
your
even
child.
knowing anything.
Extremely grateful
That's
for
what
the
I'm weird
opportunity
about.
to
Like,
be
I don't
here
think he knows anything about this.
and share my son's story. My son is Eddie. He's 11. He's on the opposite end of the spectrum from what Amanda just explained. He's considered high functioning. He was not always high functioning. He was nonverbal till the age 4. We've had quite
I don't even know
quite
what
a hard
age
time
kids talk at, bro.
to get to the place where we are today.
I don't even know.
I am just so grateful
They usually start at
President
like
Trump
a
and the
little bit
entire
before 2 or
administration
3.
for finally listening
High
to
functioning, low
moms
functioning is the
before
older
crying out for
terminology that used to be used. I think they changed it. There's always
I
patches
actually remember
on this
hearing
stuff,
ideas in my own head,
but it
not
just
saying
means that
them
like
out
high
loud.
functioning just means that you don't need like a lot of assistance in terms of like socializing. You don't
It's
have, like,
usually at or a little
medical,
before 2,
significant
but
dietary
there's some
restrictions,
swing
things of
in
that
there.
nature.
or
Okay.
look at them like they were the crazy people. It's
I
hard
think we're
when you
saying
don't
more
have
than the
doctors
video is
that
saying, so I
take
don't
the
mind
time
I
to
think
really
the
listen
new meta is to
and
say like
find out when the
support
change happened
needs
and
or
what change
something,
happened
right?
and it's
Like,
just
if you want to, for instance, I was talking at about a year and a half, I think.
Okay. At no point of reference. I assume that's a little bit earlier, maybe?
Can I just add that there's this contentious thing in the autism community about using sort of this very behavioralistic training that's a lot like how people train dogs, and not to disparage that, you know, they're trying to get training, but it's kind of traumatic for parents to see this happen. You know, it doesn't seem very humane, and so maybe that's what that lady was talking about, not understanding the previous lady about a no. Anyway, that's just like a whole
Okay.
you know, issue about what's the best way. Okay, however this happened, you're facing this thing. What's the best way to try to get them to do as much as they can and give them as much empowerment as possible? And it's very emotionally difficult to navigate that as well.
As somebody who had to go through a lot of that shit when I was a kid, I can tell you that in a lot of places it just boils down to people basically teaching you how to sit down and shut up. Doesn't feel very enlightening.
Well, it could be based on the world that surrounds us, or at the time surrounded them, right? To where it's like, okay, this is like what quote unquote normal means, or regular behavior, or whatever the fuck. To where, okay, we're trying to like mold you or move you towards this direction, and maybe it doesn't feel correct. Especially if it's like almost like Doctorland, where it's like you guys are strangers from each other, basically, right? At least initially. So maybe there's something there with that, but I don't know. I don't even understand exactly, once again, the phenomenon of the idea of autism. I don't even exactly know what the fuck that even means. Really, like certain ideas like schizophrenia or multiple personalities or bipolar. Like I feel like I have a decent understanding of it, but autism I really don't know. I'm a fucking ignoramus, honestly.
That's the dirty secret, Jordan. Nobody does. I would argue it's probably one of the most poorly understood conditions of being on the planet.
I need like that. You ever see the Ricky Gervais show? And he had the Carl Pilkington guy, right? And he's like, okay, I wish I had a machine that could tie me up to my doctor. And it's like, hey, doctor, this is what I feel like. Just ties up together with a machine. He can just feel what you're feeling. And thus he can be like, oh, that's this. You have, tonsillitis. You have the flu. You have a broken bone or whatever the fuck, right? Like, that's what I feel like sometimes with certain ideas of things that I can't exactly firsthand know, if that makes sense. But I'll dive deeper. I'll do that. No problem. All right, here we go.
And it is worth diving deeper, but just as a short answer, I can tell you that Trump and RFK and Oz over there, they have been spraying nothing but nonsense everywhere. It's It's infuriating.
Well, they wouldn't be my first source for sure.
I just want to say, I have a friend whose child is on the spectrum. It's pretty difficult for him, and it makes it very difficult to be part of social gatherings. There's unpredictability. There can be aggression.
I know social awkwardness. I know that one.
Well, it's not just awkwardness. It's like, maybe throw something at someone and hurt them. Then what? It's not like they're exactly responsible or evil or anything, but it's not under control, and so it's scary and dangerous.
All that noise is probably an assault on the kid's senses. I'd fucking scream and throw shit too.
And so there seems to be a lot of sensory overwhelm and a lot of suffering, and so it's very hard for parents to see that in their kid constantly, physical pain and emotion, or just like sensory overload as well, and then not a great ability to communicate what's going on. So then it's even more just how do you help? Like when you see your child suffering, you want to help them, and if you don't even know how, it is a very, very difficult thing. So it's really important that we figure out everything we possibly can to prevent it and to help people who are suffering it, help them. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to care about people, and that's the whole point of the civilization. We're supposed to specialize and set people on problems and solve them, but unfortunately with industry influence, they will just rather let these people rot as long as it protects their profit stream. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. I mean, well, even the idea of is it something like quote unquote wrong in the first place would be one of my first questions, but also I don't look at parents as it's your fault. I don't look at that like that way. With this thing I'm watching right now, I'm seeing politicians take advantage of parents that have I don't know their situation, so I can't even say that, but the idea of I could see a politician taking advantage of someone's individual experience of something and using it for their own means. That's where I get a little weirded out, but I'm by no means looking at parents as sort of a bad guy in this scenario at all. Not at all.
You guys probably brought this up already, but Tylenol, right? That's off patent, right? That's not a patent drug. They're not going to tank anyone's stock with Tylenol, throwing Tylenol under the bus. I'm just saying, call me cynical.
If they do, they're opening themselves up to a fat fucking lawsuit. I would love to be the lawyer that takes on that lawsuit. That is the easiest fucking payday ever.
I mean, for slandering that product, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, though. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I wouldn't.
Is it harmful? I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Well, the big danger with acetaminophen is if you overdo it with that shit, like I said before, that's liver toxicity.
Yeah. But even that, no idea. As far as their idea, tying it to autism, I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know, personally.
Studies have been done on this elsewhere already. In fact, there was one that was done in the UK that had a very large sample size, and they really didn't find any correlation with autism.
Fair enough, but Joe, I'm saying I don't know enough to call that right or wrong by looking at a study. I have no fucking clue. I swear to God, I'm absolutely lost. No fucking clue. I can make guesses, but here's this study. I'm do I even know enough to call that right or wrong? I don't have that personally. I have no idea. That's where I'm at. But let's keep playing. Here we go.
That's one of the reasons why this shit can be so fucking difficult, because there's so much shit that you have to read before you make any kind of conclusion, right or wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to fault you for not knowing these things, because why would you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point of experts, right? That they would look at the research and try to be seeking the truth, not, working for this entity funding them.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. That's why corruption means we can't have real science. We can't get real answers. We can't ask real questions. So, and it's not just about vaccines, obviously, it's about all kinds of topics. That professor at Stanford, he found the wrong answer for, I think it was Syngenta, but I don't know. It was some kind of a pesticide. And you know how Alex Jones says they're putting things in the water that make the frogs turn gay. Well, it was like that. It was impacting the aquatic life or these amphibious creatures, and so he got the wrong answer. And then they just stalked him at conferences, harassed him. What's his name? I think his first name was Tyrone. I'll try to find it. But anyway, the point is, it's not just this field, but we as a society can't afford to have corruption.
Any scientific field has this fucking problem.
Exactly. And then that means we're not going to get good science. So everyone thinks it's safe, or, oh, well, what's the big deal? I'll sell out here, I'll sell out there, take the payday. And if I tell the truth, I'm going to lose my job. And then my, kids' braces or tuition or the house. But then if we're always doing that, we get,
well, at that point,
we don't really have the ability to do science.
At that point, you stop being a scientist and you kind of start being a mercenary. The world's most boring kind of mercenary.
That's the thing. And so these R&D things and these research departments, they become R&D and marketing arms instead of truth seeking. And that's not okay. Or that's not going to help us anyway. It's good for them, I guess.
And if you were really, also to anybody who's listening to this, because I don't know how old the listeners are, so they might not remember this, but I remember when I was a little kid, I saw stuff about how certain things that we put out into the air might not be great for the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And climate scientists, so meteorologists, ecologists, people who study this shit for a living, have been sounding the alarm bells on this whole thing since the 1970s. Like the depletion of the ozone layer. That was a big one in the 80s and 90s. They've been sounding the alarm on this shit since the 70s, and corporate America still does not listen.
Yeah.
Even after the fucking BP oil spill in 2010 that they're really sorry for. Jordan.
It's Professor Tyrone Hayes, and they put a keystroke spyware on his computer. They would cancel his plane ticket after he made it, and then he wouldn't have a plane ticket. So allegedly that's what he reports, that they threatened his daughter. It's just, I mean, it's gangsta. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to call it.
At the ER, Amy. At the ER, you're good.
I'm gonna stick with the soft R, okay? Hey, I lived in Boston. I have a.
Oh God, Boston. Go ahead, Joe.
You fucking chowderhead.
Gangsta, Harvard Yard.
Anyway.
Yes, go ahead.
They've been sounding the alarm on this shit since the fucking 70s, but corporate America doesn't want to listen, even after the big BP oil spill 15 fucking years ago, that they're really sorry for. Now, Jordan. We're really sorry. People
I'm not
who know
convinced about the global warming thing, so let's just say the jury's still out on that one.
No. He's saying South Park. The fucking, for me, the bearskin rug thing is the funniest thing of all time. It's like, we're sorry. It's like
we're sorry.
What's also slightly amusing is when that Exxon Valdez big huge oil spill happened. That was seen as this huge Mount Everest of career move. If you could do this for PR people, so they were scrambling to try to get that job to do the PR, because if you could do that, then you'd be seen as a miracle worker. It's very sad.
As far as global warming itself goes, because of more recent evidence that we've gotten since the 2000s, when that term was more in vogue, it's been changed to climate change, because certain places are getting really fucking bitter cold for parts of the year. And also we're having an uptick in just extreme weather events in general. So blizzards, hurricanes, monsoon season if you're in certain parts of Southeast Asia. And we're getting a lot more wildfires now. That shit that happened in California earlier this year happened during what was supposed to be the wet season, the rainy season.
Well,
think
But
about
there might have
that.
been people with some flamethrowers helping. I don't know. I mean, you got to keep an open mind. Just saying.
I'm saying where I live, Amy, bro, the weather has fucking changed. It has, in my opinion. From my childhood to now, it's different.
And that's the other
It
thing.
seems a lot different. Now, I'm not saying like what's causing that. I have no idea, personally. But it does seem different, for sure.
You do know that there's been ice age periods where they could, the Thames would freeze over and they'd
Okay.
have festivals.
Once again, I'm not
and all that.
saying what's causing anything or that. I'm saying I'm noticing a change. That's all I'm saying. I'm leaving it at that.
Well, and I just want to say, though, I mean, it sounds kind of crazy. I don't even like to think about it because the vaccine thing's enough. And I spent a lot of hours reading and researching that. But, if there is this weather modification, they have had technology to do it. Are they doing it? We seem to see things put in the air with the planes, and then people do report putting things in the planes and spreading it out. What is that for? Who decided? Who agreed to that? What say do we have? Where is the review that we could go to the meeting and learn about it and
I'd say
raise
worthy
our
of
public
question,
comment?
for sure. That's worthy of question.
Yeah.
100%.
No,
It's just
I'm not
I
shooting
am
it.
noticing
No, I'm not.
my actual like walk outside life. Like it's like like the winters are not the same that they used to be when I was like a little kid.
Yeah,
Like
we don't get as much snow here anymore.
snowfall. Now it's just like once like it's like a
just-
big
it's just
snowfall
more-
here and then like nothing and then big snowfall then nothing then big snowfall again. It's different.
The rest of it is just more fall weather.
Yeah, and it melts very quickly too, I believe.
Yeah, because around here, I think just the average temperature is climbing. Now, as far as the weather modification thing goes, I'm not shooting that down necessarily, but as I understand it, the kind of technology that exists that would even allow us to do that is still extremely primitive. The most we can do is cloud seeding, which, as I understand it, is some kind of silver iodide vapor that gets sprayed out into the air to encourage cloud formation and by proxy encourage rainfall.
But Joe, if they had some like wild technology, they wouldn't tell us yet, right? They just do that shit. Right? Like if they had some weird shit that could change the weather around, they'd just do it. They wouldn't tell us about it. Right? In my opinion, at least. That's where I'm at.
Oh no, they wouldn't admit to that shit in public, but I think we would have seen more signs of that by now. And also the kind of variables that you would need to have control over. There's a lot of them. Because it's not just the air you have to control. There's also certain currents that move through the ocean that are actually changing right now, which could threaten a lot of very low-lying areas. In fact, there are entire countries that could be underwater by early next century.
Okay.
And that's because the major ice shelves are melting.
That is fair enough. Should I be worried? The fuck? Did I run? Where did I run to?
Well,
where's Will Smith at? Will Smith? What do I do? Sorry, God.
And also because of what's happening with the weather in Central Asia, there are large parts of the Middle East that are going to be totally uninhabitable late this century. We could start to see some of that as early as 2050.
2050? Jesus.
Yeah.
Am I alive? I don't think I'm alive. Be honest. Very honest about this.
If shit keeps going the way it's going, I'm probably not going to be alive to see any of that nonsense. Whippy.
We'll be playing Mortal Kombat in heaven somewhere. Like, we're done, bro. I think we're done, Joe. We're not there.
Yeah.
Bro. I'm not making it there, bro. 2050? Get the fuck out of here, bro. No chance. 25 years? Nah. I know my fate already. It is what it is.
No chance in hell.
For me, no chance. For others, sure. For me, no fucking chance. But all right.
There is.
Good.
Do you want to keep going?
No,
I want to talk
go,
about
go.
geoengineering. Well, there is at least proposals, and from what I understand, there have been some actual carrying out of dispersing particles for geoengineering to supposedly reduce climate change or counter it, let's say, to counteract, to modify climate to counter what they propose is happening through human caused carbon production. But so if that's, if they're putting particles that change the absorption, then you could change, in theory, local temperatures, and then you could change, certain low front, whatever. That's what affects a lot of weather is, different temperatures, different pressure zones, all that kind of stuff. So in theory, if you locally change, whatever, weather or the temperatures or impact it, you might be able to modify it if you've played around with it a lot and knew what you're
Okay.
doing. I don't know. It's possible.
I don't know. Personally, no
Yeah.
idea.
And
No,
like I said, we can
believe
kind
that
of
idea.
encourage cloud formation and try to get more rainfall that way, but as I understand things, that's currently the extent of it that is able to be done. And even that process is very expensive. Just on
Putting
resources.
particles that reflect, especially more in the blue or whatever, visible light will affect the absorption, will change the absorption, the solar absorption. So that would affect temperature. That's
Well, from what I understand, the most popular thing to use for attempts at cloud seeding is some kind of silver solution.
Yeah, but it's not cloud seeding. It's putting little tiny, basically dust, junk,
Mirrors.
distributing it. And then that changes, aerosolized, and that changes the, the reflectivity of that region, that level of that area of, in the sky. And that would affect total absorption. It's like you put a little reflective coating on a certain area. I've worked on solar cells, so that's how I think about it. You put this reflective, increase the reflectivity of a certain band over a certain area, and then that would reduce the overall, light absorption, and that would change the temperature if you did enough of it. I don't know. Do they do that? I've heard reports that they do. Who knows?
Like, I can see that in theory, but one of the problems I just see it running into long term, just immediately, is just the fact that metal is obviously heavier than air. Even the very lightest metals are still heavier than air, from what I understand. So those are ultimately going to fall somewhere.
Pretty high in the periodic table. So not all metals are heavy. Aluminum is heavy, but not all particles. It doesn't have to necessarily be metal to influence the reflectivity. It can be about the scale as well. So that's another thing. How big are the particles compared to the wavelengths of the light that you want to reflect?
Yeah, every particle has its own weight, oddities. There's a lot of variables that start getting involved when you're messing with things at the molecular level. It's actually kind of funny because it's a lot harder to deal with shit at the molecular level than at the macro level.
Can I just call you both nerds and end my video?
You were going to do it no matter. You were going to do it no matter what we
two
said.
nerds.
So
only I'm
have at it.
I'm the nerd.
No, you're both nerds.
Not both.
You're both nerds. Enjoy it. Either way.
And you, Jordan?
Shut up. There's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Either way. Say your points about any of this shit. I feel like a fucking bot. Like, why did I do this video? Wasn't it one of your channels that I'm like featuring on? Instead, it's my fucking channel where I know nothing about this topic at all, and you guys inform me. That's fair enough. But also in the comment section, if you want to inform me even more, please go ahead. Don't forget to check out the links, description box for sources, charities to donate to, and also the Discord if you want to join that. All links, description box. And with all that said, please give this video a thumbs down. Fuck you, Hasan.